cheap ways to not bungle your nice guitar. Got this here Fender Jazzmaster, and I want to put a strap on it. Am I going to do this? Am I just going to drop the strap on and then take this bitch on tour? And then guess what? Be rocking, and I'm going to like pull one of these, and then like, well, it's not going to do it now, but like, I'm going to be rocking so hard, this is going to fucking do that, and that shit's going to drop. It's going to be so whack when that happens. So, this is like kind of an obvious thing, but some people don't know. Peep this. Peep this scene. Here's what you got to do. Okay. There are many methods to securing your strap. There's strap locks. That's kind of like, I'm just not into the strap lock. That's kind of like just don't know any better. So you're like, oh, I'll just get strap locks from Guitar Center. No. There's Grolsch, right? That's what you use. Grolsch, I think, is like, I know what's up. I'm cool, and I want to like protect my guitars. Not cool. Beer. Not cool, but like you're cool. You know what's up.
You're like, oh, I have beers. What do I do with all these caps?
I've never actually even. What beer does those come off of?
Grolsch.
And where do you get a Grolsch beer? I've never like.
They probably have them at the liquor store around the corner.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But if you're me and you're like straight up working man, fucking grinding tour, you just drop by the Home Depot, and you grab.
Rusted washers, no shit.
These are rusted because these were on another guitar that they've probably been on for fucking 10 years.
So your sweat will rust shit.
Straight up. Never failed me. So sometimes before we get here, this hole will get stripped out and this bad boy just fucking pops right out like that, right?
Right.
So what I'll do when I'm getting ready,
preemptive,
I'll drop by a restaurant and grab some toothpicks.
Got it.
So, I mean, this is a brand new guitar, so this isn't the greatest example. I don't have a crappy guitar here, but after years and years of abuse, this will be a fucking wide ass gaping hole like Goatsy. Mm-hmm. You know what Goatsy is?
No. Who's Goatsy?
Google Goatsy, and sometimes you'll get a big old hole like that. It's like the Goatsy hole. You never heard of the Goatsy hole?
Fuck, I never have.
Oh, crazy. Yeah.
Goatsy.
So anyway, I take a toothpick.
Is that dude that has that song with Kimbra? Oh, that's Goatsy A. Sorry.
So bring this in.
Got it.
So when this is the Goatsy hole, I'll take, some toothpicks. And again, generally it's like a whole lot wider than that. Okay. I'm only going to need one right there. But sometimes, like I said, that's massive. And so I'll just jam toothpicks in there, get it nice and tight. Sometimes when you don't have a toothpick, like if you're at a show or if you're at a sound check and your shit is like loose before the sound check and you don't have access to like a restaurant with toothpicks, I'll use drumstick shards.
I've done that.
I'll just run behind the drum throne. Right. And, there's always some fucking shards there. So then I'm going to take this, and this is going to go over it like that. Sometimes when you have not a nice, thick Paul Frank strap, sometimes when you have the shittier thin ones, I'll just drop a new hole right through it, as I know you do too, because sometimes this will rip, but this thing's not going to rip. I've used this many times. So peep this. This goes on down here. I got my toothpick in there. Also, like the other choice is like, oh, wood filler. Let me just go run down and get some wood filler and fill this up. But like
too much money.
Too much, and it just like it. I feel like it gets gooey and it just never dries properly. So there's not like that's the way to do it. That's the way I've done it forever, and it works solid. So let's get this guy cranked in there. Boom. Oh my goodness. No more Goatsy hole. This fucker's gonna be tight.
It already looks tight.
Dude, look at that. So then I'll loosen that up just a hair. Get it perfect. Cool. Okay, let's go with this top one. Okay. Let's drop another one of these in for good measure to keep it nice and tight. Again, no need to poke a hole through the actual, thick part of the strap because I'm good. But if you use like the $2.99 straps from Guitar Center, I'll actually even sometimes, you know how this is
Double up.
Double up, or I'll go through this part.
Oh, shit.
Just whatever, like we're talking like when you're rocking hard. You don't need this when you're fucking, chilling. But if you want to rock hard.
Yeah, if you're the ultimate shredder who doesn't move, you don't need this.
Shredders with good posture.
Yes. And
if you're doing this, you don't need this.
You're good.
You could go to the don't know any better strap locks. You'd be fine with those. I think this is cooler. My friend Jeff taught me this trick probably 15 years ago, and I was like, that is pretty cool. Dude.
Good looking out, Jeff.
All right. That's what's up right there. It's not going anywhere. This would be so crazy if right now it actually did fall to the ground and just drop.
But it's never gonna.
And while I'm here...
Yeah, what's up?
I want to just address one more thing that I see that's like crazy. I mean, unless there's something I'm not seeing, always drop the fucking right angle cable in that shit.
Always.
It's so weird to me when I see dudes... I mean, also, I drop it behind the fucking strap because that seems like more no-brainer, so it doesn't slip out. One of the points is so you don't... It goes behind the fucking strap so you don't step on the cable and yank it out, right?
Fuck your jack up.
Dude, when you're like this...
Who does that?
Why? Actually, lots of people do that. Start paying attention. Like, dudes you would not expect to, like,
Adrian
have
Blue?
that. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe... I just feel like that's something I've always been... So I wasn't always aware of that because I had maybe 2 SGs that are flat, tops like this, that fucking fell or got smashed. And, the SG is not a pick guard. And so it's a cavity in the SG and it smashed through it. And I needed it, like I've had to repair multiple guitars for being an idiot and not using a right angle. Again, that's also if you're being like rocker. Like if you're rocking hard. But, if I'm like on stage just like this. I'm not going to step on it. I'm not going to fucking smash this into the wall and it's going to cave in. But just generally speaking, maybe someone could let me know why you wouldn't do this. I mean, or maybe someone would be like, oh, it's just an extra step that I don't want to think about. But make that second nature. Do you have a reason why you would not use a right angle and go behind the strap?
Dan Elkin swears he doesn't understand why anybody doesn't use dual right angle cables because that's the only cable that should ever be made.
I sometimes like the pointed for some things. Like going into an amp, sometimes the top of the amp or whatever, it's a little more beneficial to have the straight angle. But I get that.
Well,
but as far as the guitar goes...
No, I agree.
Or a pedal, sometimes you wouldn't want a right angle. It might be easier to have. But regardless, if we're just talking guitars, right angle, behind the strap, lock that shit up. For Christ's sake, man.
Lock it up.
Don't be the dumbass that like whose guitar falls off mid-song.
And you know what I would do when that would happen? You duct tape it around the horn.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna say then the other way is the punk rocker way, which is the ugly ass duct tape. Now, cool if that's your vibe, or acceptable if it's mid-show. That's happened to me mid-show. I was the dumbass who didn't do this properly. Shit fell, and then you just have like, you're scrambling for tape, and then you just tape it up real quick.
Bingo.
So that's what's up. So now do you want to show us how you do yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, hey. So how did Juan do it? Well, I'm actually leaving on tour Saturday for Dr. Octagon. I use the Grolsch. These are the Grolsch. This is actually a Grolsch. That one's from another beer. I don't know which one, but this is the Grolsch, the red one. You look at a lot of German beers that have the ceramic tops that you pop off. It always has this little washer. So here I am in 2017 on tour with Dr. Octagon, and I rock the Grolsch because I can always find them. That's why.
But what if you're rocking too hard and that pulls through?
So then that means you have to go like this into the second hole that I made. And then that's a little bit tougher hole. Put the washer on here. Let me get the washer on. There. Boom. Good to go. Old hole. Boom. The other thing I was going to say, just because I remembered like tricks, since we're doing the little tricks. Paul Gilbert showed me this. So I use thick and thin picks. This is my thick ass pick. Look how thick it is. Rare does it have to be filed down. But when you get these other picks, like here's an earthquaker pick that I've been using, and see, I don't know if you can see the grooves cut in from pick scratches and stuff. So Paul and I were broke, and so Paul would save picks, and I'd always see him do something to the carpet, and I go, what? And he goes, watch. He goes, I gotta file it down. Look at that. Gone. You just have to rub it on the carpet, and it smooths it out, gets rid of the grooves. So look at that. You can also do custom. He would do custom points all the time back in the 80s. He would just file it super sharp or super fast speed plane. But look at it. You just have to rub it on the carpet, and it's like a little file. But it's look, you can get that anywhere.
So you guys were that broke. You were just like, dude, this pack of $4 picks.
Oh,
no.
Okay. You know what I should do? I should also show you how to. We used to call it economy strings, and we, because the guitars and basses, they always break here at the bridge. And so we had no money. So you'd see all the early Racer X photos of us playing live. We had tons of guys always hate that when the coils, the strings are all hanging out at the end of the headstock. See how nice and neat this is? In the early 80s, if you see Paul, or mid 80s, when Paul and I started that band, you would see all our cables our strings, like clanking around up here. That's because when you broke it here, you would thread this. So you always have the little ball. So let me go get a string so I can show them what I mean. Yes, I'm actually going to open up a new fresh set of strings to show you this, because we love pedals and effects, audience. So here's a 10 gauger. But if you see the little thing at the end? So you break it here. So then that means it basically just looks like this. So then all you have to do is just re-thread it. So you go in here, and we would go like this a couple times. As long as you had enough string left, and then a couple times. Look at that.
You're saying if you break it, if that was still there, if the ball was still there,
you just have to find your
You're saying if you break it at the other end of the string.
No, you break it at the bridge. You just, because it always breaks right about here. You know what I mean? It always breaks right before the bead. So here's a bead in the saddle.
Right.
Breaks here, and if you have enough string on the other end, then you just grab it and and we call that economy strings. And we would get like 4. Paul would go, I think my record was 4. He would get 4 strings out of 1 string. So there's another one. And then there was one other cheap thing that we would do. What was the other thing I was going to say? All right, fuck it. That's good.
Where you just walk into like a guitar shop and, let's say you smash your guitar on tour and you're like, fuck, I need another guitar. So you would just do the thing where you walk into the shop and then take one off the wall and just run out with it.
And we were never that broke, and we were never that cool. I don't think Paul's ever smashed a guitar, not that I know of. I'd smashed 1 bass at 1 show, and that was it. And it was a Fender, and John Page, who was the custom shop head, was there, and he had just built me it, and I smashed it on stage, and he was there, and he was really bummed at me. He's not bummed at me anymore, but he was bummed back then.
Nice one.